What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. The double XP event is in full swing on all platforms, and it is just a great time to be putting in the grind and farming it out in DD2. However, there is one real important thing to make sure you farm, and that is a good time, because you know, it's a grindy game, so make sure whatever you are doing it in a fun fashion. Now, with that in mind, I am here on Chaos 10 Malekai Sewer, which is, I think it's probably one of my favorite maps in the game now. I absolutely love the design. I love all of the zigzagging. It actually makes you feel like you're perhaps in a dungeon somewhere. Putting in the defense. We don't get that feeling in many places through Dungeon Defenders, and it's just absolutely awesome map to run. Now, with that in mind, I just don't need any more quills, and that is such a bummer that this is such a fun, awesome map to play, and it drops the worst possible crafting material. Now, you know, obviously you're going to need these, but at some point you're just not going to use very many of them, and you're going to get very much overloaded with them, where, you know, the grind is going to be dominated by, like, reroll tokens, ingots, motes, clusters, etc. Things like quills are just not in hot, in hot demand or high demand. Now, this map, we also have the benefit that it drops that, nope, I didn't get one, drops that slimy ghost cat, so it is a rare drop, about 5% drop chance from the victory chest here. And, you know, that is something worth collecting. Now, I personally am not really doing it for the slimy ghost cat. I'm kind of doing it because I just love the map. But we are going to go blasting with some dragons here. We are busting out the Werewolf Commander, of course, Juggernaut Automation and Rebounding Strike. And I am going to use some Dragon's Nest, Defense Raid, Anti-Melee, and Anti-Chaos. Now, additionally, there is some flyer leaks on this map you have to be careful of. I'm going to use just a generic Lightning Strike aura. I'm really going to get no benefit from Controller or no benefit from Defense Crit Servo, but it's just a relic that I plugged in, so not really looking for anything particular on that one. I did set it up with a Power Transfer and a Deadly Strikes for a little bit more range, but, you know, just pretty generic LSA. Now, one of the things I like about this map is all the little twisty turnies. It allows you to do some real fun, aggressive spawn camps. And that is what we are going for here today. So let's just get our werewolves down. Now, over here, I got kind of mixed emotions on where to put them. If you put the werewolves here, the flyers could potentially aggro to them, which will help you out a little bit. If you put the werewolves here, you're going to get a little bit more upfront choke. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put those werewolves right here. For this lane, I'm going to go ahead and use 2 of them because, you know, why not? And on that same note, we will double reflect it as well. Now, let's just go ahead and do the rest of the walls here and see what we have left over. I want to do kind of a little Dragon Blaster build here and make sure we're getting a nice spawn camp going, but additionally, I want to be using dragons, so we're going to do that. In fact, you know, I may not even need that LSA I was talking about, but we'll see how the DU works out here. I keep wanting to place Mama Dragon down. Mama Bird says, give me some action. I keep hitting that dang button. No Mama Bird today, y'all. No Mama Bird today. We are just going to go with these wolves and some baby birds. Now, the baby birds I'm going to go ahead and set up right here for this lane. We're basically just going to do 2 stacks. Actually, what did we have prior to that? Well, we had 410, so 690 DU to spend. Might as well just say 650. We can do a nice 300 stack on each lane if we wanted to get full buffs in. And a little 300 stack would look something like this. So we're going to go with, let's see, we need to get a destructive pylon in. And then we'll give it a buff beam as well. So that's going to be a 300 DU stack right there. And should get the job done. I can do another 300 DU stack over here. And then still be able to play around with the flyers. Now, the benefit we have in this going up front like this is it really just packs the congestion together, where most of the mobs are going to be in the exact same area on all the lanes, meaning like these dragons here are just going to wreck. Now, what is the strongest thing with the dragons? You see them getting used quite heavily. The strongest thing with the dragons is actually not their power level at all. The strongest thing with the dragons is, without a doubt, their ability to wall hack. So being able to go through walls and target enemies is just beast. It's the same thing that makes the Nimbus incredibly good, and really any defense that can go through the walls, those gargoyles, for example. Now, as I mentioned, we are going to have some flyer leaks here, so we want to go relatively close to the core, get us a reflect beam there. We actually got a ton of DU left. We can go one more dragon, perhaps. Let's see if we can't sneak one more dragon in to this mess. And then that's going to lead me to 20 for that lightning strike aura. We'll just drop that lightning strike aura like right here. Now, the lightning strike is just some last resort. That way I don't have to stare at the flyer lane. However, if you're going to stare at any lane on this particular run, that would be the one right there. Just, you could sit here and just spam shoot up into that lane, and it's probably going to really clear any issue you would have just from doing that. But I want to run around and see the sights and see exactly what's going on. So only 4 dragons, 4 and 5, but I feel like still it's a pretty good split. And one of the reasons are the dragons, of course, are a small AoE explosion, which is very small. So the only time you're going to really reap the rewards of it big is if the mobs are very congested and all built up on top of each other. And that is one thing we definitely achieve in a build like this, is all of the mobs are going to be in one tight little area, and the dragons are just going to mow. So, good stuff. The dragons will go beast mode and clear just entire packs, since we are giving them the opportunity to. Now, this particular build is without a doubt 4-player friendly, and in fact, besides Siege Rollers and Draken Lords, you can full AFK with this build, even in a 4-player group. In a 4-player group, I would suggest doing some upgrades. If you're just playing in a 2-player group, like with your alt, you don't even really need to upgrade anything. So you can just spam through the waves and get them going as quickly as possible. So let's go ahead and bounce on forward to wave number 5 and see what this one looks like right at the end. Alright, and here we go in wave number 5. Pretty smooth running altogether. Another great thing about this map is it is an absolute blaster. You're going to run this map in like sub 7 or 8 minutes. Even quite casually in sub 10 minutes pretty regularly. Now, as far as upgrades do go, I would prioritize this area over anything else. The main reason is we have nothing for the flyers. So there's nothing specifically for these flyers. They are going to come directly to this core. So depending on your power level, you want to either upgrade that stack or keep an eye on this flyer lane. You know, basically, pick your poison. Do you want to sit here and shoot at those flyers? Or do you want to sit here and shoot at these flyers? Whichever area you don't want to sit there and shoot at, you can throw down a little flyer defense, and it's just going to seal the deal for you on that particular lane. Now, of course, we do have the dive-bombing kobolds, like you see right there, but as far as the wyverns go, just throwing a reflect beam in front of the core. On this particular map, you do have to get it pretty close. Will protect you from those wyverns, and just give the lightning strike aura time to kill. So we just saw an example of it right there. Wyverns are ranged enemies, not melee enemies, so they're going to shoot a projectile, and the reflect beam just kind of makes that trivial. See, we got a Plaguing Hawk here. We also got a Siege Roller down below. We are going to have to attend to the Siege Roller here, as we are not set up for no Siege Roller killing. And then, looks like everything else is just an easy burn. Now, we do have that double XP event going, so we'll take a look at the XP value. I've got 72 Ancient Power resets, so keep that in mind when looking at the numbers. And this is what I got for that run. So, not the most XP, 62 million out there. This was actually my second run of the day. As I mentioned, I do just adore this map. So if you take 5% of that XP away, you will, or is it 10%? Just say 10%. Take 10% of this bonus XP, or half of this bonus XP away, and that will give you a good idea of what you're going to get at 72 AP resets. So not a huge XP earner, however, super fast to run. As long as you're doing like sub 7-minute maps, figure you're going to get about 8 or 9 runs per hour, which, you know, at 8 runs per hour, that would be about 480 million XP per hour with 72 resets. Of course, you'll have the win streak bonus stacked up in there, so it would go a little bit above that. But there is a look at just one of my favorite grinders. I absolutely adore that map, y'all. And hopefully looking forward to seeing more like it in the future. But that will do it for now. Thanks a ton for watching, and I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.